Welcome to the show Unraveling Mysteries. We chase the shadows where the unknown lies.
And munch on popcorn beneath the starry skies.
Tonight we unravel secrets hidden deep.
While I devour nachos, no time for sleep.
From ancient ruins to alien flights.
I bring the snacks and fridge-light delights.
Mysteries call from every darkened nook.
I answer loud while chomping on a cookie book.
Grab your snacks, my friends.
And please enjoy the show.
Unraveling mysteries in every corner we see. Flashlights lighting up our fantasy. Through light and shadow, we search without end. Oh, the world's enigma calls us to transcend. To transcend. To transcend.
Came here about 450,000 years ago. At the time that they arrived, Alalu, who made it through the hammered bracelet, which is the asteroid belt, at that time the asteroid belt was still very chaotic because the asteroid belt is an exploded planet that used to have the name of Tiamat. In the text, it says that Tiamat's glory rivaled the sun. It was a water-bearing planet with land and life. Now, who wrote that? How did they know that this planet had land and life and that it rivaled the sun's glory? All these places from around the world and all these tablets and scriptures and papyruses and cylinder scrolls are all connected to one race of people that came from the Pleiadian star system. And they hail from the Pleiades. There was a galactic war in that sector of the galaxy. Some of these beings, according to the enigmatic, landed on a planet orbiting a brown dwarf called Nibiru. And some people say, oh, Nibiru was never in any ancient text. Yeah, look at the oldest version of the enigmatic. It says Nibiru and it says Anunnaki. The oldest version. These people decided, look, we're looking for breakaway civilizations. They were scanning Earth and they discovered from the scattered light, he discovered there was gold and other resources on the planet. So one guy risked his life to get through the hammered bracelet and made it through. Then he radioed back to Nibiru and said, hey, I found everything we need right here. And they started building. And when they got here, Enlil, on a crystal tablet he showed to his sister, it says, Ninma, he showed her the building construction technique that's gonna be on this planet, he said, for all time. He already had it laid out, how he was gonna build the cities, how he was gonna build the plumbing. It was all on this crystal tablet. Now, what kind of tablet is a crystal tablet? Sounds like an iPad or something,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Who sits around writing sci-fi stories 6,000 years ago? When they began doing all this building and all this work, we were already here. We meaning our cousins, human beings' cousins, not Homo sapiens sapien, but the prior version of us was already here. What they said was, okay, well, these people are here, but we're not gonna mess with them. We're just gonna continue to build what we're doing. And the Igigi built and worked for about 200,000 years. Came with the Anunnaki.
Okay.
They were the workers. They were Anunnaki. Now, Anunnaki doesn't mean they're all one particular race of people. It means they were people who came from heaven to earth. Anybody from space that comes to earth is an Anunnaki. The civilization they built is the Atlantean. But even in the tablets, it talks about some of these people coming from different planets or stars, which means that they probably most likely were a mixed race of people.
Okay, if the Anunnaki had their own race of workers, why is it said that they created modern humans with the sole purpose of mining gold?
Cuervo, it's obvious, because the Igigi weren't slaves. They got tired of not resting and not having women and almost went to war with their masters. So the Anunnaki, instead of negotiating, created the human race.
Patricio, but what are you saying that these super advanced beings use cheap human political strategies?
Cuervo, my friend, what do you think? Even in space there's bureaucracy, boss.
When you go into the ancient Sumerian tablets, you discover that there were beings living on Mars called the Igigi in these ancient tablets. They were the working class Anunnaki people, and they were up there creating a breakaway civilization, but the atmosphere was very harsh as it is today. And so they were complaining to their rulers who were on Earth, Enki, Enlil, and Anu, that the conditions up there were kind of harsh, and they don't mind it, but they would just like to have a break. And they also said, and by the way, we would love to have some women too. They didn't have any women, supposedly. They wanted some women and they wanted to take a rest. And so they weren't given a break. When the epic of Atrahasis ceased, they decided to go to war against the kings of Earth. These are the sons of God these Anu was called the God figure, and his sons would be these Igigi beings, the sons of God that fell to earth and rebelled against God. They came down from Mars to Earth. They encircled the campus at in South Africa called Adam's Calendar, and the whole thing is scripted out in this tablet, how they were about to go to war, literally, and fight. And then Enki says, I have an idea. There's an existing hominid on this planet. We can add our essence to it and get it to bear your load.
Wait, now they're claiming the angels cast out of heaven were actually Anunnaki? And this Anu figure is the same god from the Bible?
Cuervo, listen, Anu is the Anunnaki leader.
Was the Anunnaki leader.
Who still is their leader. And the ancient Sumerians worshipped Anu as the supreme deity.
Just a reminder, folks, this show is for entertainment purposes only.
The Anunnaki were described in the cuneiform writings as the great gods. And these great gods had a strict hierarchical power structure, dictated by royal bloodlines and firstborn sons, all ruled over by a father god of unfathomable power named Anu. Anu was the god of the sky. In fact, his name in Sumerian means sky. He was the king of the gods, and he alone had the power to give kingship and to shape destinies. Even though he had divine authority over all gods and men, he rarely intervened in the day-to-day lives of the earthlings. Anu is part of many myths but rarely plays an active role. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, his daughter Ishtar persuades him to release the bull of heaven to attack the demigod Gilgamesh, leading to the bull's death. And in another story that parallels the story of Adam and Eve, Anu offers Adapa the food and water of immortality, but Adapa refuses. Anu had no defined anthropomorphic form in Mesopotamian art. His symbol was a horned crown, which represented divine kingship. Many believe Anu to be the basis of Zeus in the Hellenistic pantheon of gods. Anu fathered many deities, including Enlil, Ishkur, and some demons too. But his firstborn was Enki.
And how exactly did these gods create humans?
Oh, but that part is fascinating.
There were groups of hominids living in the forest around the Anunnaki cities. These were our ancestors. They were either Homo heidelbergensis or Homo erectus.
Yeah.
Stop it. The Anunnaki took one of the hominid males and attempted to cross his genetics with the Anunnaki.
Yeah, Anunnaki.
Enki wanted to create a creature that would be intelligent like the Igigi, but not too intelligent. They would be strong, but much smaller than the Igigi. They would be engineered to be submissive and much easier to control. The first experiments were done in a lab, and the results were horrific. Instead of creating a perfect being, the genetic experiments created monsters.
Boss, that talking fish gives me the creeps.
That fish has more money than you and I combined, Patricio.
That was a low blow, man.
Gorgons, Cyclops, Banshees, and two-headed giants. These monsters still live on in ancient stories. The Anunnaki changed their approach. They genetically spliced their DNA with that of a hominid female. Then, rather than grow the embryo in a lab, they implanted it in the female. It worked. Less than a year later, a child was born, a boy. He looked more like the Anunnaki than the ape-like creatures roaming the forest. They named the child Adamu.
Adamu, like Adam from Adam and Eve?
Yep. Adamu means first man. In Hebrew, the word also means from the ground or earth. In Genesis, God made Adam in his own image from the dust on the ground. In ancient Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian texts, the creation of man is described the same way. Man is created in the image of the god or gods by mixing the blood of a god with the clay of the earth. Ancient Egyptians had a story of man being created by mixing a tear of a god with the clay of the earth. Blood, or even a tear, would contain DNA. And clay in ancient writings doesn't mean actual clay, it refers to all life on earth. Every culture and religion has some variation of this story.
Not a coincidence.
Probably not.
With all due respect, Patricio, this sounds like science fiction to me. Like Star Wars.
Actually, Star Wars is based on the Anunnaki, Cuervo.
Anunnaki, what are they?
They are these beings that came from off-world. These are aliens. Now, what's interesting about these aliens is that they're not little green men with antenna. They're actually hominids. They have two forward-facing-looking eyes, two hands, legs. They put their pants on one leg at a time like us. And the reason why is because we have their genetics and their DNA inside of our bodies. Now, what's interesting is these beings were a spacefaring race that broke away from the Pleiadian star system. Now, these stars, according to ancient texts and tablets, there was an ancient galactic war there. Most of of the information from Star Wars comes from this text. And this war, they had these destroyers like Death Star. They call them the Brahma-Astra and Brahma-Astra Honda weapons that actually can release a weapon that can destroy planets. Imagine if you were in a star system and a planet is being blown up and you're in a nearby planet. You got to get off of your planet. This created something called space refugees.
Where are you getting this information again? Where is
the
it?
Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, the Indian Vedas.
So these are ancient Indian texts.
That's right.
5,000 years ago.
Well,
Before you say anything, boss, haven't you wondered why humanity is so obsessed with gold?
And the Anunnaki story is all about gold. And this is all from Zecharia Sitchin's work. The idea was that they were going to suspend gold particles in their atmosphere in order to protect their environment. But they had the ability to do something about it. And the way to do something about it is to mine gold. And that they took us and they created us from the hominids. The reason why that's so interesting is because gold is useless 10,000 years ago. Why do you need gold? No one needs gold. If you're surviving, if you're a hunter-gatherer, gold means jack to you. Why is it the #1 method of currency throughout all human beings, all over the world?
So where did the gold come? Why did we have an appetite for it?
Why?
If it wasn't placed into us, if it does not sustain us in any way.
It's very intriguing. It's very intriguing because it doesn't do anything. You can't make a weapon out of it. You can't make a tool out of it. It's too soft. But they did use silver as well. Silver was also used as currency, but not like gold. Gold's the king. Always has been. Gold is #1.
So why do we love it? Why do we need it? Why do we trade life for it?
Always.
I can't deny it's intriguing, this gold obsession.
Well, you know what else? There are modern artifacts in Sumerian tablets.
This is what the Anunnaki said. This is how you know that these are not made up things from people's imagination, because everything is too factual. Like this necklace, right?
Right.
People online were like, yeah, is that Buddhist or that's this or that? It's none of that. Like I just try to find the answers to things. So
Is that a ship wheel?
I designed this because this is that thing that you see that all the Anunnaki guys that look like a wristwatch, and they always have it, and you're always trying to see what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is a time, and it's a compass. It's a time-keeping compass.
That's what that is?
Yeah. So that's what made the carrier of great importance, because he was able to do things that were magical in nature, like go somewhere and get right back.
Patricio, for God's sake, a teleporting wristwatch now?
Let's explain to me what is this that I just bought at the swap meet.
That, nothing but a cheap trinket.
Beam me up, Scotty. There's no more intelligent life here.
Epa, tío, epa.
Oh.
Joder.
Something unexpected happened. Some Anunnaki and Igigi secretly had love affairs with humans. The children born from these unions were extraordinary, considered demigods, who left their names eternalized in the legends of many peoples. Some of the most famous were Gilgamesh, Hercules, Perseus, and Samson, forever known as Nephilim. These giants often lived in hill caves, but frequently attacked human dwellings, causing great trouble for the Anunnaki. Despite losing Anunnaki support, humans flourished and built their own cities. But everything was about to change. The orbit of the planet Nibiru was approaching Earth, an event occurring only every 3,600 years. The Anunnaki knew disaster was imminent, as Nibiru would reverse Earth's magnetic poles, causing earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. The Anunnaki's final decision was to abandon humans, return to their ships, and flee into space until the natural disasters subsided. Against his advisors' and family members' wishes, King Enki decided humanity deserved a chance to save itself from the Cataclysm. He commissioned Utnapishtim, a good-natured man, to create a giant ship called the Preserver of Life in preparation for a great flood that would end life on Earth. Even in the face of human mockery, Utnapishtim dutifully carried out Enki's instructions and built the ship. He also sheltered and protected the essence of all the animals on Earth. Enki ordered the Anunnaki's technology to be used to collect the DNA of one male and one female from each animal species. When the great ship was finally ready, the signs of Nibiru's approach were felt worldwide. Those who mocked Utnapishtim now feared the consequences of their arrogance. As predicted, Earth was devastated by an unprecedented disaster. Earthquakes tore the surface apart, creating new continents. Volcanoes spewed lava and smoke, incinerating everything in their path. Finally, torrential rains raised ocean levels, covering even mountain summits. The splendid city of Eridu and the Garden of Eden were destroyed, as were the terrible giant Nephilim. But despite these horrors, Utnapishtim's ship held out till the water returned to normal levels, revealing a reborn world.
So now you're telling me the biblical flood didn't happen as written?
Wishvoce, this is the Sumerian flood. It predates the Bible's flood by thousands of years. And don't tell me there's no evidence. It's written in the Sumerian tablets and even in the Book of Enoch.
The Book of Enoch. It's an ancient Jewish religious text traditionally ascribed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Now, who is Noah? We know now, because I've been reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, that Noah is actually Ziusudra, okay? That's his real name, Ziusudra, before it was converted to the name of Noah in more recent texts. His original name is Ziusudra, or even in some, depending on which version of the Epic of Gilgamesh, Akkadian or Babylonian, it could be Unapishtim, okay? Ziusudra is the most commonly known name, but Enoch is the great-grandfather of the person that was actually given the instructions on how to build a ship to be saved from the flood. Now, this ship that he actually built, we discover in the Sumerian tablets, is not a gigantic boat like what they have been preaching to you in Sunday school. He was given the instructions, and how do I know this? Well, the tablet is actually in the British Museum. He was given the instructions on how to build a gigantic round disc submersible, or maybe it flew, I don't know, we don't, nobody knows. And it was cut up into sections like a pie on the inside. And he was told to put his local flora and fauna and his local livestock in that disc, okay? He never built a gigantic ship. Not once did he build a ship. That is false information. Not once did 2 parakeets and 2 lions and 2 deer and 2 cockroaches and 2 fleas and 2 ticks and all this come on the boat. Didn't happen, okay? I'm just telling you right now, it did not happen. He was literally told to get his local flora and fauna and his local livestock and take on this disc that was cut up into sections like a pie on the inside, but it was a sealed disc, like a saucer, okay? That's what he was in. And we know this for an absolute fact now. There's no way to get around it.
And that's all for today, true believers. Thank you for joining us.
If you enjoyed the show, legends,
Please hit the little thumbs up, like the video, and tell us in the comments what mysterious topics you'd like us to unravel next.
until the next time for more
Unraveling mysteries.
Ciao amigos.